We're a couple of hours away from finals, and today is all about the routes and the athletes, of course, who have to climb them. Now, I'm here with one of the setters, Jan. Now, Jan, first of all, let's talk generally about the last couple of days. How's the setting been? Has it all worked out the way you wanted it to?
Yeah, I think so. Qualification was good, a little bit on the hard side, but that gave us a little bit more time to tweak the semi-final. So we're happy with semi-final. We got a good result out of it. So looking forward to tonight.
Now, before every finals and semi-finals, you and me or whoever's on the team have a chat about the route. So we thought we'd do this on camera in a little less detail. So, Jan, tell me, first of all, let's start with the women's, let's say. What's the general style of the route? What have the athletes got waiting for them?
So tonight it's a bit different than semi-final. We're a bit more resistant. This one is final. It's a bit more risky. So we'll have probably a bit of a dynamic move or two in the route.
And is that an early sort of easy but just to scare them dynamic move, or a proper hard jump?
I think there'll be one sort of early on, but one halfway and then one more towards the end.
Okay, cool. And are you expecting any tops on the women's routes, or because usually you go for like one or maybe two, right?
Well, hopefully one. Yeah, okay. That's the idea, but I think one. One would be cool.
But is it hard? Because I mean, we know how much Yanya Aimori and people like that like to fight. So have you sort of ramped the difficulty up?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. They both fell off the same move last night. So yeah, hard to split.
Okay. Well, that sounds exciting, and you'll see it more in a minute. And the men's route again. What's the style there?
Again, a bit the same. Like semi-final was really resistant, and again, final more risky. Some special move. We're a little bit worried with the weather being a little bit humid, so we added a couple of things here and there to make it a bit more secure. So maybe not as spectacular as we wanted, but we try.
And any real cruxes, or is just the whole thing building up the pump?
I think it's just one boulder problem after the other. It's just keep stacking up with maybe some little places to breathe.
Okay, and I know you guys try to avoid rest where you don't want them to rest, but are there rests built into the men and women's routes, or have you been a bit nasty?
No, we have given some places to breathe. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, Jan, thank you so much. I can't wait to see the routes, but we've heard it from a route setter's point of view. Let's now find out how an athlete reads the routes when they come out on stage during the observation time. So, as promised, we found an athlete. It's Hamish MacArthur, soon to be Olympian Hamish MacArthur, and he's going to be my co-commentator tonight. But right now, we want to talk about observation, that time when you guys are out on the stage looking at the routes. So tell me about that time, because it's pretty special and unique in sport, isn't it?
It is, and it's the fastest 6 minutes of your life. You go out there, and you're like, okay, 6 minutes is tons of time. You start reading the route, you get about a third of the way up sometimes, and you've got like a minute left, and you go, oh God, I've got to read the rest of it. And there's a lot to think about. Like, reading the route is not just about the hand sequence or the foot sequence. It's rest positions, clipping positions, possible places to climb past clips, like places where you maybe can't see a hold when you're on the route, so you've got to remember where it is. There's so much to remember.
And are you a binoculars person or a no binoculars person?
I've slowly become a binoculars person. I used to not be, because of like the reasons I've been saying, that there's so much to do. When my process wasn't as quick, having binoculars would just waste time, and I actually wouldn't finish the route.
And who do you tend to read it with? Are you picking someone you know, or someone of a similar height to you? Like, because you have that choice with the athletes on stage.
I think the most important thing is to find a competitor who you trust. Ondra is, I love reading with him when I can. He makes the routes feel simple when he climbs them, which is a really useful skill. Some people overcomplicate it. He's obviously tall as well, and just has done so much climbing in his life that his instinctual response is really refined.
That's interesting. And I know you're going to say no, but I'm going to play devil's advocate. Do you ever trick each other? Do you ever just go, you know what, there's a jib around the corner there, I'll do it like this? Does that happen, or is it still everyone's being really nice?
I think the only way that happens is people not letting on information that they've seen. Like maybe someone will see a knee bar and there's no point in telling other people. Sometimes you do anyway. Like I've been in positions where I've seen something which feels really valuable and I have shared it because maybe down the line that comes back to you, so it's a weird game like that. Like the short game, you definitely do want to keep those good ideas to yourself. But I don't think anyone purposefully cheats people.
It's what I expected. I've just always wondered, so I thought I'd ask
Good
it.
question.
Okay, so let's say we're looking at this route here. If you were standing, I know you'd normally be moving around, but what kind of stuff are you looking at when we see this route? Like, what things are you trying to spot?
The first thing is to just do the sequence. Like I just do the very basic sequence of where my hands go. And then after I've done that, when I'm kind of confident with the rough feel of the route, I really focus on the clipping positions, because in my past that's what's messed me up the most. So sometimes you can climb past a clip and clip down, and that's way easier. But also sometimes you can climb past a clipping position and it really messes up your whole route. So that's really important. Rests are really important. And having a general idea of where you think you're gonna fall or where you think you could fall. Obviously you have to anticipate you're gonna get to the top, otherwise there's no way you're ever gonna get to the top. But having a rough idea of where you're gonna fall is super helpful, because if you look in that section really closely, that's gonna be where you're fighting the most, where you're the most pumped, and where you're making the worst decisions potentially. So to have an idea of if I get here and I can't clip, I can do 3 more moves and get the points. That is a really useful thing, because that wins competitions all the time.
That's fascinating. That's something I really hadn't thought about, so it's so cool you say that. All right, now just to shove you in the deep end, on this route, where do you think the hard bit is going to be? Is there an obvious section that stands out, or do you see this more of an endurance route?
At first glance, it looks endurance-y. There's quite a lot of positive holds on it. The start is very techy, I think. It looks scary to climb, maybe, very friction dependent, and a little jump. But I think once you've got through the super holds, like the black and teal holds, it's going to become powerful, but not too pumpy after that. And the feet get pretty good. At a certain point, you've got a big ball to stand on, and then it just gets into basic crimp climbing, which everyone is good at. I think on this route, there's so many changes in style that it allows people to rest. Kind of, you get through a techie bit, and you can rest your techie muscles and engage your biceps, and then do the same again. Like a change in style is almost as good as a rest.
Well, that was amazing, number one. Well, we've got to see if he's right now, because it is time for the finals. So I'm going to head to the commentary box, well, we are, and we're going to show you guys the highlights. We've seen a lot of good finals at World Cups, but this one will live long in the memory as one of the best. Let's start with the men. And Japan's Tomoe Narasaki climbed first and ended up in 8th. He launched his way across the first jump, but fell on an awkward hand-to-foot match. In 7th was Switzerland's Jonas Utelli. His first finals, but he fell just 1 move further than Tomoe. Japan's Taisai Homa was 4th. He was looking good until a long hesitation on a move cost him dearly. It's great to see Shuta Tanaka back on the circuit, and in only his 2nd World Cup since 2021, he's getting better and better and finished 5th. Classic Colin climbing was back, and it looked like a return to form for him. The USA athlete eventually falling on hold 40 plus. Onto the podium places, and GB's Toby Roberts picks up bronze. He made it through to the leopard print holds. There was an awkward, stretched out move, and he just didn't quite get it right. Silver goes to Alex Magos. He climbed early in finals and set an early high point. His decision to do lead this week clearly paying off. Finally, Jakob Schubert walked out into the arena. He seems to love the high pressurised environments, and he always finds something special in Innsbruck. There was a truly brilliant climb from one of the very best. Alex's high point, he's hit Alex's high point. Can he go past it?
And that's
He
it.
can!
And that is it. Jakob has delivered once again.
That is just unreal.
And the timing with the music is perfect.
What a competition. He falls down, but no one really cares. Jakob Schubert takes victory once more in Innsbruck.
I mean, climbing here at home is always different. It's always special, and this route today was exceptionally special because It was such a crazy fight from halfway up. Like every move, I felt like I'm gonna fall. I feel like I might have not been the best climber today on this route, but I think I was the best fighter, and that's what brought me the victory. And I think it was also only possible because of the crowd in my back.
On to the women's comp. China's Yutong Zhang fell lowest for 8th. She was struggling with her left arm, needed a shake, couldn't find one, and fell on the jump. Mattia Pozzi was excited to be back in finals in front of her home crowd and cruised through the bottom of the route. The jump got her though, and she was 7th. Annie Sanders couldn't repeat her bronze from Boulder, but she's going from strength to strength in her career, but fell in the same tricky spot. Next was Bulgaria's Alexandra Totkova. She's looking mentally strong at the moment, but once again, she also fell from the jump. Jessica Piltz got a huge reaction as she walked onto the stage, but guess what? That jump spat her off. The first athlete to make it through that sequence was South Korea's Cheon So. It was bronze for her, and an impressive bit of climbing, traversing the wall on green holds and falling on the head wall. Silver went to Ai Mori, who had a different solution for the jump, hitting the lower crimp with 2 hands. From then on, she was in cruise control, enjoying every move. The head wall and its crimps were no match for Ai, and she finished the route in style, laying down the gauntlet for the last climber out. So could Janja Garnbret take double gold in Innsbruck? Things were tense in the stadium as the audience watched her execute the low jump in a risky way. And after that, well, she had to battle. She's got it now she'll know it's good.
Yeah.
20 seconds. I haven't seen Janja go this close on time in a long time. She's resting it.
Match, 2-finger match on this hold.
14 seconds. Now she goes. I'm so stressed. Here we go, in with the right foot. 1 jump to go. She's got to make the quick 5 seconds.
To clip.
Oh, that is it for Janja.
Like I've said many times before, every single win means a lot to me because I'm very with both feet on the ground. I take nothing for granted, so I need to be always focused and determined to win. So it absolutely feels incredible every single time.
So that's it from Innsbruck. Congratulations to all of the athletes who took part and will return in Chamonix for the next World Cup.